about probably two more times. And I'm gonna quickly state the duties of the president. The president shall be the executive chief officer of the council. The president shall preside all meetings, execute all documents on behalf of the council, and exercise all other powers and perform all other duties pertaining to the office of the president. The president shall have a vote upon all questions before the council and shall have the right to take part in the debate on any questions under consideration. The president shall be an ex-official member of all committees. The president shall supervise the administrative assistant to the council on his behalf. The president shall approve all member reimbursements requests except his or her own, which shall be approved by the treasurer. And we will now quickly take nominations. Members can nominate themselves. If a member is nominated by another member, I will confirm that he or she accepts the nomination. Nominations do not need to be second. If a member is not present but has submitted his or her nomination in writing to the AA or another member, he or she will be treated the same as any member who is present, including having a 2-minute statement read aloud by someone else. Each nominee will be allowed to make a 2-minute speech. Following the candidate's presentation, we shall conduct a roll call vote, and members may abstain from voting. If no candidate receives at least 7 votes, we will vote by show of hands on whether to do a second round or proceed to the elections for the next, well, we will just proceed. And all the procedures are clear. We're going to move forward. Do we have any nominations for president this evening?
I nominate Amy Inside.
Emma Alada nominates Amy Jane Side to accept the nomination.
I accept.
Good. Are there any more nominations?
I want to nominate Eric.
Okay, Irina De Gomez nominate Erica Gonzalez. Erica Gonzalez, do you accept the vote? The
Yes.
nomination?
Yes.
Okay. Each nominee will have a 2-minute speech, and Amy, you will go first.
Good evening, everyone. I got to go off her. Good evening. My name is Amy Side, and tonight I had a Zoom meeting, so I'm a little late. I apologize for my tardiness. So I'm not new to the CEC. I am a former member of the citywide council, or citywide council for District 25. I was a co-president. I held many titles, several years, several terms. I am here in my home district, District 10, as on the Community Education Council. As a parent who is very dedicated to the district, as well as somebody who is a parent leader. I know the roles very clearly, supervising and supporting the council and administrative assistant to make sure that we're all in a partnership and working to make sure that our community is our partners. So community members like parents, community organizations, leaders in the community, we work together to make sure that we really craft and create policy around students that are in this district who may not live or live in this district. For students in special education, students like learners, our temporary housing students, and our students that are most vulnerable in our marginalized communities. I recognize that I have 2 points. I know this is a very short term for our next election, but I want to really focus on students who are recovering from COVID and recovering from remote learning and trying to come back from their high quality education that their expectations are. Third, that we are kindergarten to 8th grade and making sure that our middle school students are really achieving where they're at to make sure that they're ready and prepared for high school. And third, our most diverse community here in District 10, I want to really support every language, every culture to make sure that we are well-rounded and culturally responsive, sustaining education for each and every policy. So thank you. And I hope my members on the council will put me in this position. Thank you.
Erica Gonzalez.
Hello, I can you.
Yeah, no, yes and no.
I mute myself again?
Can you say that?
Can I mute myself from off my device?
It's gonna feedback. You probably gotta turn down the volume a little bit.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, you hear you.
Hello?
Okay.
I'm listening. Hello, everyone. So once again, I want to say thank you to nominating me, and I want to thank you to the IEP panel who voted for me. I am sitting here in the council for IEP representative. And as the president, I would work together with each of the council members and also with the district team. I have attended some meetings and I have worked with IEP and I would work, like I said, with in conjunction with everyone, so that we can have a team and we can have more workshops and more being around the district. Like for example, at the science fair, I was here, the students did a great job. With that, I think it's something that we have to now, experience I am, but it's something now, and there's also, the workshop, and I would also on this with that.
Okay. We will now have a roll call vote. Emma Alot. Amy. Raquel Baptista. Erica. Irina Zabones. Erica Gonzalez. Michelle Haynes. Amy. Renita Parsons. Amy Nigsai.
Myself.
Garemo Vasquez. And Catherine Wheeler. Okay, and we are yet again in this. We got 4 for Erica, 5 for Amy. Do all members agree that we need to do another round, or will we put in a motion to table for the last month in June?
I put in a motion to table the last.
Thank you, Catherine Wheeler. Someone second.
And Michelle Weeks second.
Okay. So it is a table for June 18th. Thank you so much, constituents. Thank you, nominees. And we're gonna move forward. Next, we have our 2025 contracts by our panel. Well.
I'm just gonna bring up the PowerPoint.
Yes.
Camille was so kind as to also make copies for you, and place it in your folders or wherever. So, if it's easier for you to follow along that way, then you should feel free. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure if I am able to share my screen, but I know Lauren is on and able to share to the folks at home. So hi, everyone. My name is Hannah. I am one of two Bronx Senior Grants Officers that supports the Community Education Council and also supports schools with grant funding in conjunction with Interim Acting Superintendent Mary Doyle. I'm going to be sharing with you information on two topics this evening. One is our state contracts for excellence funding, and the other one is class size. The state contracts for excellence funding. Oh, we could go to the next slide. We have looked at every year since contracts for excellence funding started in 2007. The class size reduction piece we looked at briefly last year, and we're going to look at a little bit closer today to better understand New York City Public Schools plan around class size reduction, as well as where we are right now. So some brief background on contracts for excellence funding. The contracts for excellence funding is a portion of the foundation aid formula from New York State. Essentially, it's funding that can either be earmarked, allocated towards specific programs, which Interim Acting Superintendent Doyle will talk about in a few minutes, and or can be used at the discretion of school leaders. We are required by state law to do these public hearings, such as the one here tonight, and these are happening across CECs across all 5 boroughs. And there are also borough-wide hearings where folks can hear a little bit about the contracts for excellence funding, share any comments that you have, and I'll also share an email at the end of the presentation where if you have additional thoughts and or questions over the course of the next month, you can share those and the DOE will take those into consideration as we finalize the plan moving forward. Some newer things about contracts for excellence funding, we're now required to conduct the hearings within 30 days of the enactment of the state budget. So you might remember we had this meeting in June last year. It's in May this year. So that is newer. And we're required to provide the public with 15 days notice of when the hearings are going to occur. This process, the intent is to allow families and communities the opportunity to give input on the contract for excellence planning process. And we can go to the next slide. So these are items that contracts for excellence funding is currently used for. So additional instructional time, and I'll let Interim Acting Superintendent Doyle share a little bit more about what that looks like in District 10.
Yeah, so within District 10, we are fortunate to have a number, there's not one formula, right? So a lot of different schools offer a lot of different extended day opportunities, and some schools offer Saturday academy, some offer extended day academic programs, specifically for subgroups of students. It is often based on data. And if a student is, we call it pushable and slippable, if there's a child who just needs a little push, that could be a potential group that we can help after school. Typically, when I have the great opportunity to visit our school, it's something that we talk about how, when there is the opportunity to offer these programs, how they would want to structure it in their particular context. So there isn't one formula exactly the way it would look across the district. It's definitely based on the needs of that particular school and their particular students. And obviously, any chance that we have to provide additional funding for extended day activities is one, particularly based on academic need, that we would support.
Modeled programs for multilingual learners.
So across the district, as you know, we have a number of what are called TBE programs, that's transitional bilingual education, as well as dual language. That's for sustaining 2 languages. And we are obviously very much in support of both sustaining those programs and expanding them as possible. And that being said, this particular piece mentions the expansion of bilingual resources. So as you know, with our adoption of interreading, we also have more schools adopting Lengua la Lectura, the Spanish version. And with that comes an expansion of bilingual libraries in classrooms. We are very supportive of translanguaging, which is using the student's own language in instruction in the classroom in order to take advantage of that. Having a courses in the student's home language is beneficial. And again, the more resources we have, we definitely want to expand access.
Full day pre-kindergarten and kindergarten.
So we are very fortunate, as you may know, across District 10 to have 5 pre-K sites, in addition to the sites that are located within our elementary schools. That makes us a little bit even. Not every district has 5 dedicated or any dedicated pre-K centers, so we consider ourselves really, really fortunate to be able to have those centers and provide additional access across the entire district to these phenomenal programs for our youngest learners.
Class size reduction, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, but if there's something that you want to share now.
No, just we were talking before about where we are, so we're going to talk about that a little further.
Perfect. Teacher and principal quality initiatives. These are citywide initiatives to recruit teaching staff to the places where we most need them. Middle and high school restructuring. Also citywide initiatives to expand participation in advanced placement programs, as well as other advanced learning opportunities. So beyond these, there is discretionary funding, which we're going to talk a little bit about on the next slide. And additionally, the New York State Education Department Commissioner can authorize additional uses of contracts for excellence funding, such as pilot programs, et cetera. That can all be found up to date on the New York State Education Department website. But with that, let's go to the next slide. So what does contract for excellence funding look like for the 2025 school year? So each year, the New York State Education Department increases the amount of C4E funding based on the annual increase in foundation aid, which is in excess of 3%. So in the 2025 fiscal year, which starts on July 1st, the amount of funding we dedicate to contracts for excellence is increasing by $45 million, which will put our total at $803 million. As we'll see on the next few slides, the amount of funding that we are dedicating towards the fair student funding, which we talked about, or Freddie talked about probably in January or February of this year, is going to be $183 million. And a subset of that funding is going to be used as part of the class size reduction plan. So it'll be earmarked specifically for teachers' salaries. We've always used the funding in this way, but this funding this year will be specifically labeled as part of the class size reduction plan. There is going to be an additional increase in foundation aid of $137 million. That's going to be specifically allocated to supporting schools in meeting our class size reduction plan, and may also be subject to use for C4E. So on the next slide, we're going to look at the contract for excellence funding citywide. So $487 million is going to be discretionary funding. So what does discretionary funding mean? That means school leaders will sit with their budget directors over the course of the next few weeks and think about how they can use that funding across the eligible C4E expenditures to best serve the needs of their students. The targeted funding and maintenance of effort is specifically for targeted purposes. So those purposes, we'll see them on the next slide, are targeted across our districts, and some of them are below. We already talked about fair student funding, ICT or integrated co-teaching classrooms, our existing summer programs, full day pre-kindergarten, ASB classrooms, et cetera. And so that accounts for $316 million. So let's take a look at the next slide and we'll see the citywide breakdown of all of our C4E funds. So combined discretionary funding, so kind of the first line and the fourth line, account for 61-ish% of the total C4E funding citywide. As we shared, the fair student funding is about $183,000. ICT classrooms are that 86 million. And that is targeted, so schools will spend that money specifically on funding ICT classrooms. Summer programming, maintenance of effort, so maintaining the work over the summer that we're already doing is $30 million. Full day pre-kindergarten also targeted about 9 million. And then our ASD classrooms also targeted at 7.2 million. So that accounts for our citywide allocation. So now we'll look at the next slide, which is what does this all mean for District 10? So District 10 receives about $37 million between both discretionary categories, the existing funding, as well as the new discretionary funding, which is going to be specifically towards reducing class size. And then all of the other categories are proportional in service of the district with citywide funding. So I will not read the exact amounts to you. And with that, I think let's go on to the next slide. So I know that's a lot of information, especially if you're not immersed in it every day. So as you are thinking about it, you can send any public feedback or any specific questions you have either on the district or citywide level to the contracts for excellence at schools.nyc.gov email address from now until June 24th. And it will be taken into consideration as New York City Public Schools continues to finalize its contracts for excellence plan. So that is the end of this portion of the presentation. So now we'll move on to talking a little bit about the class size reduction plan. So a draft plan has currently been proposed as part of the Contracts for Excellence public process. Very similar to Contracts for Excellence, we are amidst the public feedback period on this class size reduction plan. After the public feedback is compiled, NYCPS will work with the principals union as well as the teachers union in order to finalize what our class size reduction plan will look like over the course of the next 5-ish years. And as per the law, both unions will need to sign off on whatever the plan looks like prior to the implementation of that plan. So what does this mean for our schools? There will be new class size caps for all district public schools from K to 12, which we'll talk about in a second. We'll have a class size reduction plan. There will be a prescribed timeline as to benchmarks that we'll need to meet each year of the phase-in of the class size reduction plan. The New York City Public Schools will be responsible for an annual report. So how are we doing in order to meet the benchmarks that we set for ourselves? And ultimately, if our plan is not met, there will be penalties on a statewide level in terms of funding reduction. So now let's talk about the plan as well as where we are now. So the plan includes updated information exactly on where our schools are now. The plan was released on May 7th, so it's relatively new, and we have a draft version of the plan for the 2024-2025 school year. It's a draft because it hasn't yet been signed off on by the teachers union as well as the school supervisors, the CSA union. We are currently in compliance with the 2023-2024 goal. And we anticipate continuing to be in compliance for the 2024-2025 goal, which is going to be 40%. So the draft plan includes actions for our schools, along with a bunch of different ways that we can start to reach full implementation that we'll be taking action on across New York City Public Schools central offices, including the School Construction Authority, Office of Teacher Recruitment and Quality, and some other offices that will be playing a key part in ensuring that we're able to reach our goals. So the plan also incorporates the additional $45 million in C4E funding and $137 million that schools can only use for class size. Yeah, so I think let's go to the next slide. So far, data shows that, or the required benchmark, sorry, for the required benchmark for last year, 23-24, was 20%, and we were already at 40%, and 40% is our goal for next year. So we're in good shape in terms of meeting our benchmark. In terms of the data breakdown, for those of you who are curious, data with the greatest percentage of classes that are currently meeting the target are District 23, which is Ocean Hill and Brownsville, District 7 in the Bronx, which is Mott Haven and Melrose, and District 16, which is Stuyvesant Heights and Crown Heights, District 26, which is Bayside and Glen Oaks, 28, which is Forest Hills, Jamaica Hill, and 31 have the lowest percentage of classes at or below the class size cap. So District 10 isn't at the highest percent compliance, but we're not at the lowest percent compliance. We're somewhere in the middle. The Bronx overall is the most compliant borough currently. We have 54% of our classes, of our classrooms are at or below the class size cap. So we're exceeding that 40% goal for this upcoming fiscal year. Every superintendent has been asked to look across their district and reduce or increase our compliance in meeting the class size goal by 3%. So that is work that will be happening on an ongoing basis. And accordingly, superintendents have been giving a menu of options in order to do this. So looking at schools that currently have additional space and thinking strategically about how to leverage that space, thinking about staff members in the building who are able to teach classes who might not currently be teaching classes. For example, assistant principals at the middle school, high school, and elementary school level who could potentially take on 1 or 2 classes in order to decrease the overall number of students, overall number of students in the class. We are looking at expanding pathways for paraprofessionals and other school-based employees to become teachers. As we continue to get deeper in the plan, we will need additional teachers and especially special educators in order to meet the new class size goals. The other thing I didn't mention, what are the new class size goals? 20 students in kindergarten to 3rd grade, 23 students in grades 4 to 6, 25 students in grades 9 to 12, and 40 students in performing arts and physical education. Sure. All of this will also be on the info hub. There's a C4E and class size reduction page. 20 students in K to 3, 23 in 4 to 6, 25 in 9 to 12, 40 in PE and performing arts. Yep. So I know that is a lot of information. Additionally, beyond the things I shared, the SCA is going to work closely with our superintendent teams to identify additional seats. And there will be an enrollment, a space and capital planning committee, as well as a hiring and staffing subcommittee to think about how we really operationalize this as we move forward. If you have additional questions, comments about the class size piece, you are also welcome to email class size at schools.nyc.gov. Their open comment period will also close on June 24th. I am more than happy to take questions now or after, whatever the CEC prefers. And thank you all for hosting me. Yeah, I don't have any questions.
Yes. I was curious when you said class size reduction, and I think you talked about a little bit,
Sure.
in terms of spacing, the teachers, paraprofessionals. As we stand now at the end of the school year, and this is taking effect, I assume in July, what does this picture look like? What will we look like in September in terms of class size? And you skipped 7th and 8th graders. You said K to 3.
Oh, you're right, I did.
9 to 12. Yeah. I'm alone first.
4 to 8. I said 4 to 6, but I meant 4 to 8.
Oh, okay.
That's all the problem. Okay, so
Yeah, because I'm curious to know if there's an overcrowding now, what is it gonna look like in the next 4 months?
right.
And what will effect this will have on the budget that's being cut?
So I don't have additional information from what I shared, but I'm gonna reshare the pieces of what I shared that I think address your question, and you'll tell me if I'm close. So Bronx-wide, we are 54% in compliance of what the Class Size Reduction Act requires of us across grades. I don't have the exact percentage for District 10. For our goal for next year is to be 40% in compliance. So across the Bronx, we are currently exceeding that. I think as we ease into this plan, superintendents have been asked to increase their compliance by 3%, keeping in mind things that they can already leverage. For example, and is there additional available space already? Is there someone on staff, an AP who's out of classroom who could teach an additional class to increase the amount of compliance with class size reduction? The additional C4E funding that has been earmarked, that $137 million and the 45 that has been kind of reallocated specifically for class size. So there are both monetary and non-monetary resources going into this now, and we're already exceeding in the Bronx the benchmark for this upcoming year. So I think this upcoming year is really about where are we exceeding and where do we have work to be done? Let's identify that now so that moving forward in years 3 to 5, we can say, okay, what needs to happen at the places where there's overcrowding? What type of resources are needed in order to figure out how to ensure that, we're meeting the class size reduction mandate by the time the 5-year plan ends.
And last, you talk about spacing. Will new schools be built in District 10?
I do not know the answer to that question.
There's the new proposed elementary school that's gonna go in on Broadway, not far from here. I knew that one. I don't know if the timeline is for that. Yeah, so to my understanding, in that previous school construction authority fiscal year, they do have that already set in place. But for this upcoming 5-year plan of the capital plan, there's no expected brand new school buildings in the Bronx. The entire Bronx does not have a new school building. So my question is that just because again, these numbers and there's not going to be a change in the ICT classes having the number of 12 for students with IEPs, this will kind of fluctuate, like having a need for more classrooms for especially those excess amount of students. Because, and I know there are some classrooms I've seen where they have 15 to 16 kids in the classroom,
more than the gen ed kids for IUP, and one teacher is not enough for an ICT. So I like this, I love this presentation, appreciating, but I think looking at a graph of like from District 10, where those schools are that may have an access, that we have to come to comply, because we are technically not in the first 5 years, we're actually in the second to mid-third of the 5-year
Right.
expectation compliance. So I think for myself, like, I would love if District 10 can kind of come have a graph form some way of like what schools are in compliance, if you say, and some that are having extra room, and then those that don't, because that would kind of understand a little bit better, especially when we had 2 utilizations this previous year, one having a merger, another one having truncation. That's just a temporary band-aid to something of a, you know, trying to maneuver people, but we also are dealing with the very obvious that charter programs are coming to these spaces. So if we're trying to make smaller classrooms and then eliminating some of these schools, we're opening a lot of spaces that kids are just gonna be left out of actually having a full school. Like, that's just my opinion, but I think coming from a large district that has the most amount of schools, we kind of really want more numbers than just saying like, this is percentage, because I come from one of the schools where it's already capped for several years, but we've had kids that we're our zone school, and the kids that are in that neighborhood, literally in those blocks, they don't get to come to our school because we're capped, so they have to go somewhere else. And that's not fair for some families, because then they would have to travel somewhere else. When they could come to a zone school, that is their school, and no disrespect, but I just would, you know, would really want us to be more equitable than just saying like, we have to be compliant. And I feel really sad as a parent. That's all I have to share.
So I think a lot of the data that you would want to see is forthcoming, and will be on the info hub. I will see what the timeline is on that. And I hear and understand your thirst for more information.
Yeah, because one is like, we all agree class size is really important for kids, because it's like a one-to-one attention for all kids, right? That's what we've been fighting for such a long time. But also at the same time, we're also already bringing up the fact that we don't have enough teachers, even for art teachers and science teachers. And now we're talking about special ed teachers and English language teachers and paraprofessionals. Like, now there's not gonna be this issue, and I know everybody wants it, but sometimes we don't think intentionally of like, is this really great for the kids? Because I think we're moving very forward where like, it's gonna affect some of those students, especially those that really need extra support, you know, so. I'm gonna end there, because I am passionate for class size.
I hear you.
But, you know, there's a lot of these spaces that we don't talk about, and, you know, it's, I mean, we see in District 10, like, every corner there's a school, but that's not really the issue. The issue is like, really being intentional of like, what the class is like for the whole day for a child. You know,
I think thinking too, just back on what Amy's saying about the qualifications of the teachers that are working in these classrooms, right? Like, alternative pathways are great, but I find that oftentimes our least prepared and our least seasoned teachers get placed in front of our most needy students. And I think as a district, we need to think about and be mindful of how are we recruiting the best possible teachers for our classes, so that we're not just putting a warm body in, we're putting somebody in there who is servicing our children.
On that
Thank
note,
you.
yes, definitely feel free to reach out with other questions, comments that come to you after. And I hope you have a great rest of your meeting, and thank you all for being great this year. And I look forward to our continued work together in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hannah. I know we passed the resolution earlier this year on class size reduction. And it would be a shame if we pass this resolution and we already almost in the middle, and we still trying to reach a mark. And I hopefully within the 3 years that is left, we actually go beyond that. We actually did make something happen, something work in the biggest district in New York City. Thank you so much, yet again, for any comments. Don't forget to write, to the email address that we received in our booklet for the 2025 fiscal year for the class size. And if we could collectively put questions together and then send it out instead of individually, that will work as well. Moving forward, we have now the voting of new members. This is our third go around council members, and we do need more members on this council. We have the same two applicants that have been here for the last 2 months in March and April. And we did put in a request for a trustee just in case, but I think it's enough of us to vote for the applicants. Everyone received the emails and they resume in regards to why they want to be on the council. We did all this work and we still can't get people on the council. I don't know why, what's happening, but we're gonna try today. I'm optimistic that hopefully we can vote for our applicants. We're gonna do it individually, even though we was told to do it unanimously together, but we're gonna go down the line, roll call vote. Michelle stepped away. No, we're not gonna interview again. We're just gonna vote. Yes, we're gonna, we have our two applicants. We have Maria Villalobos here, and she applied in March. And we have Estela, she also applied in March. I'm not too sure, but do you want to hear from me? When you want to hear about the speech. Okay. Maria, you could do a quick speech since you in person today. That'd be excellent. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Hey. Good evening, everybody. Buenas noches a todos. So my name is Maria Villalobos. I stand before you today for the third time because our district needs dedicated advocates like us. Together, we can drive positive change with passion, transparency, equity, and integrity. Many opportunities to engage have been declined for way too many times. This is an ongoing issue, but what? We're District 10, so we're not gonna give up. This also leaves many hesitant to join the council. It's time to end the division, unite, and uplift one another. Let's put together a difference aside and move forward together. Our focus should be on our children and their future. The outcome today and the decision that will reflect what the Community Education Council 10 stands for, this is what I ask, reflect on this decision, think about it, and let this guide you for what you want to perceive as we close out the school year. I'm not giving up. This is why I'm here. This is too important for me personally. And I do want to be the one to create a path for many others to see the persistence and dedication will make a huge difference. I hope to work together for the betterment of our community and the future of our children. Thank you. Thank you.
Give you this because last time Erica said that she put it on the same handwriting, which everyone else understood it. I still have to, you know, give it now, I guess. So let's use this and that one.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Estrella. And yes, this is the third time. I am involved in my community for many years. My kids went to Kids High Community Center when they were 2 months, and I'm still in Kids High Community Center. My oldest is 28 years old, so I'm still there. This was related community and civic activities in which you participated that believe it makes you strong candidate. I have been in the DOE community for 6 years. I have been secretary of the DOE President Council. I also, right now, I'm currently treasurer. I was the president in JBA for 3 years in a row when my daughter was there. Right now, I am the current president at JBA with my son. I am the Clinton president as well. I love serving my community, offering help. I'm a responsible person, and I love what I do, which is helping others. I'm part of MASA, which is Immigration Services as interpreter, Cabrini Immigration Services for Family, KFCC, like I just mentioned, for more than years. And the NWBCC, that's a housing division, for active campaigns. We are a family, and as a family, we work together to help each other grow as a parent in District 10. There's 3 person that is on the DC10, CEC, that have rejected to vote. They don't have a reason, and not clear what's the problem, what it seems to be the issue, if this is something personal going on. And clearly things happen for a reason, and I think it shows us which person should have certain position. This being vacancy forever in this CC. And I think when you do things with love and ask for people to see you as I have this position, things work then. Thank you. Thank you.
We have all heard, we are a full council today. I'm excited over that. We heard both of them give their reasoning why they want to be on the council. District 10 is the largest. We can't do it with a minimum. We need to do it with a maximum of people. And the more people that is on the council, the more we will have of a say, the more they will listen to us, the more we wouldn't be put on the backside. I will even throw in the more we won't be used as a token, because I see that now. We just filling seats just to push an agenda. And I don't want to be here as a face just to push an agenda. And we need to do more of a work in District 10. And if we have more people, they will see that we are actually doing some work. We're doing work now, and I'm very proud as interim president that we are doing some work. We're really moving forward. I've been in the district since 1982. So that's a long time. And this is the first time I've actually seen some work in District 10. And hopefully, when we do this roll call vote now, we'll get the more bodies that we need instead of, like I say, Vanna Whites on the council, not doing anything, not saying anything. We actually need to do the work. And we're gonna go for it right now. I hope that inspires you in your voting process. Emma Alon.
Sorry.
Yes.
Just a quick clarification. We're voting for both members at once.
We're gonna do it individually.
We're gonna do it individually.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So who are we voting for?
Right now, Maria Villalobos, Emma Alon,
Yes.
Raquel Batista,
Yes.
Irina Debonis, Erica Gonzalez, Michelle Haynes, yes. Renita Parsons, yes. Amy Ming-Tsai,
Yes.
Guerrero Vasquez, and Catherine Wheeler.
Yes.
All we needed was one more person to say, yeah. This is wild. Okay, I'm just gonna say really quickly, right now, you are making history on the record and eventually on our website that I just created, that you are saying, no, we don't need these people on the council. And then people are gonna now question on the record why you don't want them on there. And what is District 10, what is the Bronx really doing? And what are you really doing on the council? That's all I gotta say. Moving forward, but you said, Emma Alon,
Yes.
Raquel Baptista,
Yes.
Irina Gabonis, Erica Gonzalez, Michelle Haynes, yes. Renita Parsons, yes. Amy Ming-Tsai,
Yes.
Guerrero Vasquez. I'm sorry. Guerrero. Abstain, and Catherine Wheeler.
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Is that all the same today?
yes, it's all the same again.
Point of reference,
Yes,
at this point, we're getting ready to go into, after doing another year without a president and without a full council. What is Faith doing in terms of the trustees? Because we cannot continue with a partial council. With
Correct.
folks abstaining or not voting.
correct. And
And these young ladies came out 3 times. Now, we had mediation, we had meetings. What do we do at this point? The chancellor, do the trustees have to step in? This is ridiculous.
yes, point of reference, I did request for trustees to step in. Faith did say that is gonna take time, and this is part of the agenda and the game why they don't take District 10 seriously, because we have enough people to meet the quorum to vote people in, but you choose, the 3 undecided people choose to say no, and that's why they won't bring the trustees in. So I don't know who's playing who. It's like, they're not gonna take us seriously, and this is gonna lead to disappointment, discouragement to other parents, to even to your children, that we need to pass certain things at a certain time frame, and you won't even allow certain applicants on the council. I don't know who you want in here, Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny Rabbit, I don't know who you want in here. But we don't need fictional characters on the council. We need real people from the Bronx sitting on the council, making decisions. And time is out for playing games. It's either you want to be here or you don't want to be here. And I'm stating that on the record because I don't know what you did last year, but we making moves right now. And we need to make the moves today, or you got to decide if you want to be on the council and if this is what you want to do, because it's sad. We big. Y'all got children, and this is not little kids. This is real adults trying to make decisions for a broader generation other than you. What would you say to your child? Something didn't get done in your school because you don't want applicants on the council. What you gonna say? We don't need class size reduction. What you gonna say? We don't need the budget. What you gonna say to your child? You know how y'all sleep at night sometimes, but all right, that's you. Moving forward, I'm so sorry, applicants. I just had to say that because enough is enough already. I hope we do get new applicants to come in. If you want to be,
What are the reasons?
They're gonna say they don't have no reason and this is the game. I'm not gonna even go there with the reasoning.
On the record, yeah.
On the record, Erica Gonzalez, can you give a reason why you don't want the applicants on the council? Abstaining. And Face looks at us and says, okay, they don't know what they're doing. Let's have a retreat. Maybe they can work it out. You can't talk to me here. You're not gonna talk to me at the retreat. You can't talk to me here. You're not gonna talk to me anywhere else on the reasoning on why. How about Irina DeBonis? Do you have a reason?
I did vote last time, and like, it's like my small comments, and however they got me worded. My 26, I did say the last time, that, it's all there, but nothing has changed. And it was impressive. We did vote, we're gonna say that nothing has changed. But 3 times there were no changes in safety, so we have no discussion, there was no update, about the recommendation. Sorry, can you share the recommendation? We will receive the email on the recommendation. You need to turn face to them and say, I just want to make sure. We have to, we will, as a result, we receive the recommendation. But I like the retreat and stuff like that. Yes, we have. Is there a particular recommendation? Is there a specific one that has an example? I mean, we have not drafted, nothing has changed since then. We haven't had a discussion. We have had really issues drafted so far. What are the issues? There were certain procedures that could go right away. This is a very specific. It's in regards to all the members, how we make what we do, how we receive communication, how they fit in that, we still have everything all. Are you serious? Did you want to give your ongoing weakness?
No. Okay, what are you saying? I'm kind of confused in what was the recommendation? Are you talking about the recommendations from Face? Or are you talking about, I have no idea what you're talking about. We received several times from Face recommendations on the retreat. Maribel, she.
I don't the specific numbers. I need the recommendations that when we were advised to things were enforced. We were advised to say
Okay, but that's not my question. My question was, what is your reasoning on why you voting no? Not because.
Well, at this point.
Yeah.
At we did have. Using as just because they were not effective. And that does not.
But you didn't give a reason why you say no. What is the reason?
First of all, the procedures are not being followed the way they should.
And what should be going forward? How should we vote in the applicants?
Are you clear that last, the office hour that everything was explained to us, we don't have to be like how we're supposed to set up the meeting with what the applications and people file for the other questions.
Okay, so if you think that we should have did a special meeting for the applicants, then you should have requested, this is protocol, requested that we have a special meeting for the applicants to do an interview. But you can't say that we are not doing what they're telling us to do if you're not even doing what they tell you to do.
And nothing has changed, right? 3 times.
Okay, let me ask this question. If a new applicant come in, would you vote them in hypothetically?
We would start from the very beginning. Of course, we'll get to do it.
But that's what we have done on the council. We looked at the applications, we read it, we had them come in, we vote them in, we did that with Michelle. We've done it already. We've done what the protocols have told us to do. I don't understand why, at this point, we don't want these two.
How is it? Michelle?
Applicant make their statements public. You made a public.
Where you sign that there was discrimination.
I haven't heard of any.
We can't,
Can you make a public statement? I sent out the leader, you're part of the statement, right?
There was only one public email.
Is that the first round? With the apology?
yeah.
The apology. Exactly. You made an email. All the possible. I didn't make it. You're part of the people, but you're also part of it. I was part of the people who was writing it. But I was very.
She was speaking with him. She's doing this.
You were part of. I never voted on the email. But I never participated in anything like that. I would never sign on some applications like that.
Okay, I would state this in the public statement that we sent to the people who were offended. We had to reference and let people know that we do not discriminate, because some people felt. They didn't say you this, they felt discriminated. And so we had to let them know that we do not discriminate against. I agree with you. I'm not saying that you discriminated. I'm saying that we as a council.
La traducción lo dijo en el escrito, por escrito lo dijo, pero nosotros eliminamos. Que hizo la población no fue expresada de nosotros, como nosotros. Y en los talleres que dimos, la reunión que hicimos, en la reunión que hicimos, se discutió muy bien ahí, se explicó que se había fallado aquí un complejo en la metodología que habían empleado.
In the previous meeting that we had, there was a discussion, and it was admitted that we had failed in the methodology that we had utilized.
No hay nada personal en contra de nadie.
There's nothing personal.
Derechos de los ciudadanos, de los madres, de los padres.
There's nothing of discrimination against anybody. We're just trying to defend the rights of anybody else, like parents.
Hay otros padres que han mandado aplicaciones también, y no se han presentado.
There's other parents that have also sent applications as well before, but they have not presented.
Es muy fácil criticar a la gente y decir que discrimina. Cuando no se reciben, no se revisan ellos mismos, a ver qué ellos han fallado. Y los talleres se enfocan.
Okay.
It's very easy to say to somebody else that you are discriminated when you are not looking at what you're doing yourself.
Oh, ouch, ouch.
Lo peor que se ve, eso es la realidad.
Diga todo. Repito otra vez.
I'm not discriminating against you or anybody. I understand, Veronica Ramirez that did try to come into the council. We don't vet them, Faith vets them. So if Faith told them to come and they did not come yet again for the 5th time, I'm saying this, that's not our fault. If you don't like the protocols, please speak to face. You're arguing with me against
You could resign, it can happen.
over the protocol.
It is the hard with me applying for this position, and we go in circles and say the answer, oh, this person never got voted in. So to face, and if you're not happy, neither of you three, resign. Say, what has that to do with me? Wanting to be on the CEC.
I really don't understand. Y'all really not giving, and I'm gonna, digress after this. Y'all really not giving a reason why you don't want these two applicants.
They don't have a reason to say.
I'd like to say something.
Yes, Michelle.
I'd like to say, I think it's childish. I think it's really, we are all adults here. It has to be more of a logical cause and a reason. Everybody is following the protocol, and I don't think it's right because these women were told to come back out. And they gave, and our people told them that they would be voted in yes, if they just presented themselves again. They came out, they gave their statements. We had it. And it's still being known. It's not right, and it's not fair to us, it is not fair to them, and we cannot move forward as like being unified. We're being more divided instead of being more unified, and it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing.
I really don't.
I would also like to close out by saying that one of the applicants was on this council for years and served as a president. So I don't understand why we're not pulling that particular person back. She served in this community and she served on the CEC for years as vice president and then for 2 years as president. Not to get her on the council, doesn't make sense. We're gonna have to go to state. We're gonna have to go to state. A decision has to be made. So we cannot carry this over into another year.
Eric, you are running to be our president. And you're ignoring us. I don't know. I don't understand, this is another company, this is not to be, it's a compromise, everyone just seems to be a less serious to that. And speaking to it, and allow making a difference in this way. How can we move forward if we will not compromise? And I'm not sure how we can already. Because no, everyone's spoken about me here, if you don't go back up as far as you were again. Whenever a mentor wants to come back, they want to apply for something, they have to do it every month. They came in March, they had to people to get it. 60 days want to be.
So, yes, so in our bylaws and in the manual, it says 60 days. So now we're at the point where we.
For the past 3 years.
I have no idea. Listen, I can easily say, I don't want to be on the council because I don't want to work with you, but I'm not that childish and do things like that. I'm willing to work with you so we can all work together. But to say no for no apparent reason shows that there's something else. You could agree to disagree. We all here to agree to disagree. But just to say no for whatever reason that is, doesn't make any sense at all. Easily, I could dismantle and say, I don't want to be here anymore, easily. And then what would happen to the council? But I don't play games like that. We don't know what's gonna happen if you say yes. We don't know what door was open, we don't know. But based on whatever is inside your heart, you're choosing to say no, or whatever had happened previously in history with these two applicants, you're saying no. And you have a right to say that, that's okay. I don't know you now, Erica, Garemo, and Irina. Would I say no next year because I don't want to work with you? No, I wouldn't. I still love y'all because y'all are people and you have children in this position. Okay. Okay, I hope you see it that way instead of seeing it, I don't want them here. That it don't make any sense.
Yes, wanted to just also maybe just put the question out, is there a question about the independence of the candidates? Is there a particular, vision of a person that you're seeing to serve on the board to be able to push, the work forward? Or are you concerned about that there isn't independence in the candidates that are being offered to us today?
Something to meditate on. Thank you, Raquel. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Armina, Erica, Daremo, Emma, and Michelle. We're gonna move now to, and applicants, I will let you know when we hear from Face about the trustees in the future. We will move now to the review and the approval of the minutes. Every council member has received a copy of the April minutes. Someone please make a motion in regards to April's minutes.
Make a motion to approve against finalists.
Second.
Very good. Catherine made a motion to approve with the edits and approval of the minutes. And Emma Alada seconds that motion. Thank you so much. Great. We now have our superintendent's report. And we will hear from our acting superintendent, Mary Dole. Thank you so much. Share it, yeah, I think so. Are you on the,
Am I on the meeting?
yeah,
Oh, actually, I left, I can go back on.
Okay.
I had it up on the screen. If you're able to share, she had it up previously, that's how she accessed her presentation.
no. Okay. I don't see it. No.
So it says the host disabled screen share.
Okay.
Make me a photo. I'm not used to it.
Okay, she said she got you. Okay. very good. Okay. I'd see. Low. Come on, computer. Ah, bing, bing, bing.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to share some updates from community school districts and with you all this evening. Hannah Welch already presented this, which is slide here for your reference. As always, in District 10, we start our meeting with our mood meter. And similar to as I mentioned last month, I would ask you to think about our phenomenal students from Intech Academy who sang so beautifully this evening and talked a little bit about their upcoming show, Into the Woods. And then if anyone would like to drop in the chat or on the council and tell us how they're feeling this evening, we welcome it. And just as we also do in District 10, we always think about if we're somewhere on the mood meter that we don't want to be, we think about those strategies that we can use to really shift where we are to the quadrant that you'd like to be in. So we have a green and blessed in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. There isn't anyone else. I would put myself right now. I'm gonna say I'm yellow and proud. There's a lot that we're doing in the district that we're happy to be able to share with you. And so, as you know, each month we present our attendance. And so we are currently at 90.9%. That is up 0.4% from last year at the same time, where we were at 90. Our chronically absent rate is at 34.7%. That is up 0.1% from May of 2023, where we were at 34.6. So as you know, we want the year to date to go up, we're chronically absent to go down. And so that indicates to us that we have additional work to do. And we know that our attendance manager for the district has been working diligently with our attendance teachers and teacher teams, or attendance teams across the district. And so we will continue that advocacy. And if you notice, we have some other attendance rates that you had requested previously for our subgroups. So we are currently at 89.6 for our students with IEP. That is up 0.6. And chronically absent students went down for students with IEPs by 1.3%. So that's what we want to see, going up and going down in terms of chronically absent. For our multilingual learners, shout out to our multilingual learners that always have the highest attendance at 91.5%. Is up 0.2% and down 4.2% from this time last year. And for our students in temporary housing, attendance is up 0.5% and down 1.1%. So for our subgroups, the data is trending the way we want it to. And so we know that for our subgroups, our efforts have yielded some results of our labor are evident. And overall, we'll continue, to push to have our students in school every day. Some of the strategies that I can just say offhand that I've heard of are Spirit Weeks, culminating in something amazing on Friday, when the school has looked at their data and it indicates that that is the day of the week rather than as they always see attendance or the most absent. We also have a lot of schools that operate all kinds of incentives to get our kids in school. And so just to the folks who are on the call and for the council, we know that with all of the work that we're doing to improve the quality of instruction in the classrooms, it is all in vain if kids are not in school. And so we want your kids in school every single day. So thank you. We are very excited, thrilled is probably a better word, to announce again our district elementary first ever literacy fair will take place right in this very building on Monday, June 10th from 3:30 to 6:30. As you see on the slide, we have many of our partners will be involved with us. The Bronx Book Bus will be here for all 3 hours, giving out books, culturally relevant books, I must add, to the community. The New York Public Library will be signing up families with their library cards, and many of our other partners will be here. There will be little baggies of to-go items that families will be able to use with their children relative to the science of reading. We will have H&H into reading our program. That when you see in elementary school will be here, I Ready will be here. It's going to be an amazing event. Actually, one of our phenomenal PCs, Rebecca, who's on this call right now, I saw her, she had added to the mood meter previously. She will be conducting a session on cultural connections of oral storytelling. If people want to value all of the voices of our families within the community, there will be local authors who will be sharing their stories in this very important. And there will be a workshop by one of our amazing PTA presidents from PS8 on self-care. So please, the QR code is on the screen in the lower right hand corner. We urge you please to register all of your children, tell your neighbors, tell your best friends, tell your not so best friends. The community will come out really in full force and support the community of reading and of literacy development across our district. So you can forward this. All right. As you may be aware, Mayor Adams came to our district for his town hall, and if any of you had an opportunity to be there, it was a lovely event. And each of the tables, they were asked to have one representative, and in many cases, it was actually a student from RKA who became representative and led the community questions. Several of our students left with internships, which was phenomenal. And so what really was an opportunity for the community to come out and really voice some of their concerns, right? And so that was really the point. But we're lifting a special piece about really the overwhelming presence and how beautifully District 10 was represented through our RKA students. Now we've got some wonderful things happening across the district. We had spoken earlier about how we're so fortunate to have 5 pre-K centers. At one of our centers, I had a great chance to be there. I'm still kind of hiding in the corner. And this was the caregiver event that included paintings and cheer yoga. It was a really wonderful time. And the new PC is squatting right here front. And it was just a great event for all. Just recently, we hosted our annual science fair. These are just some pictures. And we really were, again, in this building, and it was a very exciting event. And just to really think about that science foundation that we know is so important for students and 100% enjoy really having an opportunity to have hands-on experiences. And we actually had a hands-on experience that day with the botanical gardens right outside of the 24, doing some planting of begonias with students. We had, so these are our first place winners, but there were a number of students, schools rather, that received second and third place. So shout out for those who came 340, business 15, and this middle school. Middle school is being 315. And they will be representing Teton proudly at the citywide science expo. We also had on the very same day a community fair at PS, it was a joint venture between PS 85 and MS 391. These are just some pictures from that event. We love the opportunity to see our schools working in collaboration with one another. So this was just an example. There was also a community fair that was hosted at JPA with Senator Sepulveda and Senator Rivera, and there were PCs again from multiple schools, 32 and 47, that partnered as part of their good work. You may be familiar that in Community School District 10, we have collaborative working groups. We have them for principals around various topics of either need or interests, and so we have them for the PCs as well. And so this was some of their work. We also had PS 32 at their 5th grade Women's History celebration, and they talked about the female trailblazers of music. So this was just some shots from the day. PS 32 also had their Women's Street event with a focus on health, wellness, and green space, and that is part of the New York City Climate Action Day. Just again, thinking about collaboration, reading buddies, they're on the same campus, PS 306 and our middle school 331. I love, as a principal, this was one of my favorite things when I had younger students, working with younger students, so we just wanted to celebrate that for you. There was also a cooking class that was in partnership with St. Barnabas Wellness Center. And that was part of their health and wellness program at PS 32, and they made some delightful treats. Again, from one of our pre-K centers, they celebrated Disney Day. So you can see Principal Baker dressed as Belle. Middle School 391 opened their sensory room. And it is highlighted by UFT, so we'll link it there to the news round. Many of our schools have set up sensory corners and calm down corners when students are feeling, we all know there are times when we are feeling escalated, and having an opportunity to really teach children how to use strategies to really de-escalate themselves, can be very, very important. This is a picture we have of my colleague, Deputy Superintendent Gina Mitchell, with our student service manager, Stan Pickett, and one of our locals, Tim Woods. They organized the basketball league that we had this year that our students just loved, and I want to say the champions, but they all were phenomenal, but was middle school 224. And so there are the pictures, including the principal and more really celebrating the winners, and here they are receiving their trophies. That was middle school, and then we had one for elementary school as well, that many of our schools participated in. And this is a shot from the celebratory session where PS 207, they received their trophies as well. So the schools, great question. The question was how can schools become involved? So schools were asked at the beginning of the school year if they would like to participate. And for a myriad of reasons, there were schools that were able to and not able to participate. But each year our goal is to include more schools. Oh, off the top of my head, but there were a lot. There were, yes, it was definitely well attended, yes. PS 46, participated with StreamYard and Poetry Slam. And this is very exciting, Their poems were featured at the annual StreamYard celebration on May 7th. And they actually, their 5th grade team beat some middle schoolers and scored in first and second place. So that was very exciting. You see Dr. Days up in that corner, with students being celebrated. Very exciting. And just thinking, when we were talking about climate change just a minute ago with some of our other schools and their open streets program, this that you can watch, on your own is an amazing video that was created with relative to climate action. And one of the really exciting things that you'll see in the video is the school looked to test their the temperature in the building based on various different let me see, stimuli, and then to see how that changed. And so it was really a way to help students better understand help students better understand the impact that they can have on energy usage. So really encourage you to check that out. But not now. You'll enjoy it next week. It's just gonna spin, so I don't remember. Also, middle school 331 has a partnership with Salvatore. So you are, and it's looking at project-based learning and team. Another video I have mentioned potentially have very exciting. As you may be familiar, there's a pencil program called Pencil for a Day. And so Jonas Bronx Academy and INTEC participated among many of our other schools, and these are just some photos from the event. And another collaboration with PSS 85 and with 391, where they held their science fair before ours, which many of our students did as well in preparation. So when we think about additional opportunities for collaboration and celebration, we have the Restorative Justice second annual D10 football camp. And so we have 3 of our schools participating, PS 20, middle school 12, and junior high school 1. The kids leave with swag and they get to meet football players, and it's just really exciting for students. And shout out to all of you. This is the CEC. This is what you guys all do when you work together. This was an amazing event. And shout out to Amber for hosting this event. We have many of our schools participating. PSNS 95, PSNS 15, middle school 90, PSNS 24, middle school 8, and PSNS 280. So it was a really, really wonderful event, and really exciting to see the students get so excited. And with that, I will be ending my presentation. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Any council members have any questions for Superintendent Marizoli?
I just want to say thank you for bringing all that attendance to us. It was neat to see it broken out.
Yes.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes, I love anything school-wise. Anything school-wise, I'm like, all of that. I think if I go back to school now, I think I'll be an absolute nerd in the school. Absolute nerd. I love science fairs. I was in a citywide science fair a few years ago. I did a project on how to clean oil spills, and that's back in the day when oil spills were a big deal. And I had to get some nasty cleaning oil from the car shop, and I tried to clean it up with popcorn. That was my thing, with popcorn or a sponge. I don't know what other things I use. And I didn't even know, I got in. Anybody wanna take that idea, they can have it. And I just love, and the emergency, and I'm just gonna go right into the president's report. The Emerge and See event, I'm gonna tell y'all. Oh, yeah, she's on fire, we on fire. That was one of the best events, I would say District 10 CEC ever had, because it was different. I would just say that. It was different. No one didn't really expect for it to turn out the way how it did turn out. And it was on a beautiful day. I really thank all my council members that was able to come out that day and even support it, or the swag that we gave out. That was fire. You know, they wanted to put another one on, so. We gotta do another one, and we gotta do maybe another event. And next time, let's make it a little bit bigger. That one was big, but we could do it bigger. I believe that. And that was great on top of all the other days. Maybe we'll try to do it more central Bronx, or maybe in the lower end of schools that don't get recognized as much in District 10. We'll try to do it in there. I know we tried to get it in President Academy, but we didn't get any feedback from them. So we're gonna try next year and try to do that, or maybe this year. Uh-oh. We can do it, pushing forward. That's it for my president's report. I know I've been on a lot of meetings in May, and I did not write them down because I'm overwhelmed with all the face meetings and all the pet meetings and all these meetings at the end of the year. They are crunch time and passing budgets, and my mind, I did not write any. All I did was digest them, and I said, okay, the next one, let's go to the next one. Well, the meeting I gotta go to online, because it is a sacrifice. I was gonna say overwhelming, but it is a sacrifice, but it is worth it to gain all that information, to bring it back to the community. And if there's any questions, anytime, anybody, even online, you have any questions in regards to CEC 10, just email us. You could email us, you could Facebook us, DM us, and eventually you could email us through our website, which we will discuss in a little bit. Are there any member reports this month? I know it's May, everybody's getting into graduation mode, we tying up the year. I'm not too sure if members went to SLT meetings for the end of the year. If you could give a detailed report of any SLT meetings, any updates or any in the schools, that would greatly appreciate it. If not, it's okay, we are May. Yes.
Yes, pretty tight, that's something. I didn't bring my notes of what was going on.
What month did you go?
Last month. Am I really able? If you want to May, I just asked him what they, if you can remember. Okay, mid-May, 310. That's it.
What happened at the SLT?
Maybe, okay, so he had some notes, but he didn't bring it, but he just said that yes, it's, yes, it's not.
Okay, if Daremo could, send us a report of being at the SLT at 310 in May, that I greatly appreciate it for us on the council. Yes, and then it will show also, it's a documentation and a record when you put in your reimbursement that you went to the SLT. Any other member reports? No. Okay. We knocked two out in one shot.
Erica is,
Oh, Erica.
we can't hear you.
As for on the 25th of April, I heard on the movement that I attended for the inquiry, it was like the day of the agreement. The first of May, the had the district of if you had a part one. The district leaders were there, we spoke about, we had a presentation about already. And we wrote some paperwork for example, I was asking, to get more about the experience about the activity. For example, we wrote on, an idea about having a form where it stated, the name of the council member, the SLC meeting that is, and then also the brief summary of what actually happened in the meeting. As we are elected, I compete because the vice director of the board of the here. The first meeting to be voted to have in this council, because the parents, for example, parents voted for the parents to know what it is that we're doing, if I can do it, and I think for example, what we do right now, so, in that form, it would say, well, this is what the meeting is about, with the information, also with the great about the form that we spoke about. Is, for example, if it's a meeting, I say, I went to a research fair, we had MMCC, we had, Montefiore Education Community Council. This is the contact information about this person. This could be, let's say, November, and then we're May right now, we can say, oh, wait, if you're gonna have something, we're gonna do an event, this will be great. Oh, but what is the contact information? What information is it? You can go back to the document, you go to the report of the person, and then let's see the contact information, and all the information there, and that will be helpful. Another thing that we spoke about, the form, the, and then, there was a by already. And, for the SCP 244, the same thing, I will give you the report, I guess, okay, very soon, you can look at the fact. On the second, there was a CEC, also to be wrong, of the meeting of the secretary of information I was giving out. From the week of the 6th of May, we received a lot of invitation to attend the Mother's Day celebration. I thank you for everyone who provided the mothers with your opportunity to their family. On the 11th, the CEC 10 had the emergency event. It was great. I also attended a workshop on summer resources for IDP, for the family, because they do have, a new place for, the students to go during the summer. That was said also in the, category committee, first. I also attended a study of IEP, it was a study, can't say what it was about, I was studying, because I did sign a paper. And there was a check-in, 10 and 14, on the 16th, there was an IEP conference that I attended, myself, and the IEP representative from the district. We're planning, a conference with parents, where we could give our resources, and that's there, for them. And also spend office hours, for the, actually, when we had, for the CEC evaluation, I mean, there, with scheduling. And on the 18th, we have the science fair evaluation, we have the leadership, but, do that. I just want to say thank you to everyone who attended this great, the children had a great, I just want to put out there that
training winner, and it was cool that the next day, and when everyone was with her, she was very happy, and I being spoken to the children, presented, very well, and they're doing, they were very well versed, explaining their, science projects, and I attended the Bronx Parade and Festival, who presented the families, I hosted the E75, sorry, the District 7, all the way to District 12, the CEC 75 Rex banner, as well as the community, for which, District 75 superintendent, the biggest superintendent, side one, and myself on the scene. Then, there was a contract by the hearing, I both, that and my, but extent there. That was like, the forum, he, they, the line, the same. I think that, that as you were just, shared with us, they're having, drone hearings, wrong, et cetera. And the one for the wrong for the second night, and I went there. I enjoyed how everyone, was great, but, just communicating with each other, and together in the second grade, and they attend on the 27th of the training for CEC about that, and I was very proud by the that I speak of parents dinner. Shepherd, people that like members. We have a great support and also being so mad from that and with the in summary, normally with the
Thank you, Erica. I do want to say that, some of us council members, we did miss a, workshop, online workshop that we had on May 2nd in regards to time management. How to manage our time and how we go. It was an excellent discussion. Amy and I was on the line with that workshop, but on Thursday, there will be another online workshop for everyone that wants to be. I would recommend every council member be on so we could discuss motivation and goals. There are excellent elevated education. We are doing workshops. So, and this is number 2 out of 3. So out of everything that we are doing, please support the ones that we are trying to engage with the community. I know, we got to go to SLT, we got all of these meetings. Amy goes to DC, she goes to Albany, but we do take time out to be on these workshops. It will help send I print out flyers. Send it, let people be online. There will be translation. I believe that day Lauren did tell me there was going to be translation. Come on, let's all be on that. You could be cooking and listening to it. You want to.
Can I make a comment about that?
Yeah.
I think it's really important for our children to understand about time management, especially in this day and age of a generation that are all on their devices. Especially going into, post-secondary, college, or career, students need to know in advance while they're in high school how to time management, how to get through homework, how to get through tutoring, how to get through exams, so that when they're ready to leave the system, they're really ready with these kind of skills.
Right.
I'll share it with all the adolescents.
Let's make sure we register. If you could get your phone and even click on the QR code and register right there, then you'll be ready. It'll be in your calendar. and then you won't forget. Wonderful. We are up to our public comments. It is now 8:50. If there's any public comments in the chat. If there's any public comments here. Nothing in the chat?
In progress.
Okay. I don't think there's anything in the chat. Okay. In person, anyone? Comment? It might. No comment, okay. Thank you, everyone. Lauren, if you could quickly put back up the workshop so that we'll, anyone that is online that's ready to, oh, yes, put up the workshop. Thank you so much. We're gonna be on there on Thursday. I know there is a literacy fair at MS 390. But this is right after that. I have to fly for that too. If you could put the 390 workshop literacy flyer up. That'd be great. If not, I have it in person. I'm very animated, sorry. That's just me when I talk. MS 390 is having a literacy workshop this Thursday after school. And you could pick up your child or just walk over there and look at all these vendors. So if anyone is interested, I will pass out the flyer. This flyer is all around town. I'm telling you, because I've seen it, I don't know how many times already. But that's a good thing that it's being distributed to everybody. Please, anyone? Oh, yes. The address is 1930 Andrews Avenue, Bronx, New York, 10453. That is between 179th Street and Burnside Avenue. Okay, so right behind Morris Heights Hospital, that clinic, go a little bit further. Okay, you got it. Okay, all right. Anyone that's interested, let me know if you're going so that I could give y'all some swag. I know Amy said that she would go and represent us. I cannot go that day. I've got a million and one thing. But I have people that's gonna represent the council. That would be great. And then right after that, we will have our workshop, which would be great. Since there's no public comments, someone please make a motion to adjourn this meeting. Amy makes the motion and Emma seconds that motion. It is now 8:54 p.m. Thank you, everyone online. Thank you so much. Don't forget, to hit us up on our website. Quickly, you could throw that up really quick, Lauren. Yeah, that's okay. For all the people that was, you don't have a website, you don't have space, people say, you don't have a website. Open meetings law, open meetings law. I'm following the protocol. I did it. I took time out my video game time to make the website. And it's up, the domain name I'm working on, so right now it is, it's kind of long, unfortunately. It's long because I didn't solidify the domain name. But I will say that, oh, Lauren is gonna post it for me. I will say, all these links are hyperlinked. And also, our previous meetings are uploaded. Yeah, that took some work, but that's my brain working. I can't do Zoom, but I could do a website. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't get it. But, we have the school calendar, we have a hyperlink to District 10. Anybody's interested, we have a hyperlink to, if you want to join the council, easy peasy. We have, a page of all of the members listed. And we have the page to register to any of the meetings. And then, and a videos of the past previous meetings in conjunction or in protocol with the opens meetings law. I did what I had to do with here. Jeez, no weeds. That is not an easy task. That is hard stuff, but I love challenges and I know District 10. If y'all have any suggestions on to tweak it, because I did all the logistics in the background, how to tweak it, I'll tweak it, and then that's all we have to do. Now we just need people on the council.
Did you link it to a Facebook account?
Yes, I did. Yeah. I linked it to the YouTube page. Yeah, I tell you, y'all I took away from my Zelda time to do this. This is this. Oh, the app. Who is in agreement with a Wix app? Well, our CEC on your phone, like it makes an app. I can make an app of this website, and then you could download the app. And then it's a pin. If y'all want that.
So the meeting that we have a link on to this as well, when they live or.
I didn't, they sitting right now. I didn't link this one as yet. I'll do that. I'll make a live, it'll be simultaneously, as you said, on YouTube and on Facebook. Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I think everybody consented. I know we adjourned. Okay, we're gonna take like a little 5-minute break. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, everyone online. We're gonna take a 5-minute break. At 9:05, we'll come back and quickly to our business meeting. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah, I guess everybody had the same idea. Stephen,
Oh my God. And let them walk for Cal. I know the thing is that my questions from my daughter walks. And look, pay attention. And she doesn't walk with them.
yeah.
And so very educated that way. I don't know, I'm finding emotions together. Oh my God. There's some good when I go to their classes, have such a big. Yeah. They have this like, especially the for like. So when I get caught like being gay or that. How do we even know? I know, you know, the thing is that, I really this and I find it way too funny. So that I don't I believe that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is, but right now it's. And so then I said. Yeah. Whoever shows up. And like, we just go, remember, you know, I 30-minute break.
And I wasn't. Yes, I did. Yeah. You know, but then the big part of it, a lot of things. And I'm out of my moment where, you know, I really get me going up. It's funny. Like, they tell you things, they're like, yeah. But it's
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna do this quick. It is now 9:12. I'm gonna start the local vote for our business meeting. Emma Amata. Here. Raquel Petita. Here. Irina Debones. Erica Gonzalez. Michelle Haynes. Present. Renita Parsons, present. Amy Kingside. Present. Guillermo Vasquez. And Catherine Wheeler. Very good. Miss Emma, she stepped out for 1 second. She's coming right now. Okay, here she comes. Miss Emma, are you ready for?
Yes,
your
yes,
report?
yes, yes.
Okay.
First and foremost, I would like to say, please put in your reimbursement.
Oh, wonderful. Yes.
Oh, we ready?
Yes, we ready, sorry.
But put in your reimbursements. I was telling him I have to catch up with her, because face can't count, but I. So her report doesn't match up to mine. And I made it known when you go on face that anyone that's serving as a treasurer can also work with the SDO.
Yes,
And when they do the training, just don't send the president.
right.
Okay, I'm gonna actually send this to you guys. The computer was acting up as usual. Okay, but for the April. For April, I'm gonna do April and May. For April, we only had 5 people that put in for their reimbursements, which came to $632.77. For May, we had 6 people, which came to $825. So definitely you need to put in your reimbursements because they do not go over. And for our Emerge event, and that was for March, we spent $9,817.01. That includes all the events, the swag, the small event, the giveaways. And the food was $1541.21.
I'm sorry, can you read the number again?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
For the event that we had at Ampark,
Yeah, the emergency.
yes, $9,817.01.
Yep. Thank you.
And the food so far, $1,541.21. I'm gonna bring for the month of June, I'm gonna bring everything together and give you a year-end report. But I gotta figure out why my balance doesn't match up with, and I got 17,000 and she got 16,000. So we gotta figure that out. Other than that, that's it. Like I said, please put in your reimbursement. They do not roll over and the system will shut down at the end of June. That's my report.
Thank you, Ms. Emma. I know we don't have the treasurer's reports, but I believe we could go over the treasurer's report in June, and then we could vote on that at that time. I would like to state that we have to do, our meeting schedule date. And I want to know if our council members are gonna be available in the month of July and August. For the summer.
Do you want to do by show hands screen? That's easier.
Yes, so are council members available in July?
Yes.
Yes. Please raise your hand. Say that again. I heard you. Yes, I know, but if we can't vote on anything, if everybody is. Okay. 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 Yes. Okay, so we all gonna see each other in July and August. I know sometimes Kate goes away in August, but that's.
We can all come to some kind of an agreement on an earlier date,
Right,
especially when the school buildings are open. But at the end of August.
But you
yeah, we need a vote. Okay, very good. Very good. I know I gave out the superintendent's evaluations. I was, Miss Emma Alada told me that these evaluations have to be done privately. So if y'all could fill them out and then, send it to me, I'll tally it up. Yes, I emailed it, so you can fill it out, via email. And, we have to get them done before June 30th. So at our next council meeting, which is June 18th, we would all come together, we will vote on the evaluation, because it needs to be approved, and then I will email it.
So our individual.
Yes.
Should be done.
Before, yeah, before June 18th.
we can send it back via email.
Yes, yes.
And we vote, we're evaluating.
Waiting, yes, Maribel, Dr. Hollow. Yeah, I gotta figure that out. I gotta figure that out. I know we're supposed to meet with the superintendent, I don't know. I don't know how is that gonna work. They just give us stuff. They don't give us the instruction. They say do it and make it happen. But in special events like this, Dr. Huller has been promoted, then. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's crazy. I know, I thought, Mary's over, I need to get more of I need more confirmation on, because of our current situation right now. Mary Jo. Hi. Can I ask you something really quickly? So we have the superintendent evaluation. Faith did not really give us instruction. They just send us the form. And we're under the impression that we evaluate Dr. Huller. And I just want to confirm if that who we are evaluating.
So that's what I would think.
Yes.
Given that she held the seat and I'm in an acting role holding the space until we but I will absolutely confirm that.
Okay. Very good.
I would think that for multiple reasons, most of which is also that she was here the majority of the.
Correct.
But I would definitely.
Correct.
She forgot us then, as you said, she.
There's a, yes.
Meeting.
There's an interview, well, we supposed to discuss. The evaluation.
Was there an exit when the council and her?
Yes, there was. Yes, she told us before it hit the news that she was here. Early March. Early March. Okay. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. So that's what you're gonna do. Please fill out the form. Don't come here June 18th saying I didn't fill it out, because we got more than a month to fill out the form. Wonderful. Yes, we're at the end. Oh,
Meeting dates or no?
I know we were supposed to also go over the calendar. Schools, the schools that we did, we don't want to do that now. Okay, we're not, I know we were supposed to, I don't have that with me. So we're not gonna go over that, maybe in July. Thank you. In July, we can do that. In June, I just want us to do the evaluation. Reimbursement should be done. Any past reimbursements should be done before June 5th. I'm gonna say 5th, because anything past should be done June 5th, and the only reimbursement that needs to be done should be June, which would be June 5th. We should not be putting all reimbursement June 30th. That is,
You won't, but it's sitting there now.
yeah, it won't be fair to Santana. It has to process not only your 10 or whatever, but also other councils that have probably a lot. So June 5th, if you have anything from July to May, you have until June 5th. Okay, anything June 18th reimbursement will be allocated into the budget by the June 30th when the system shuts down. Because if you try to do everything in the end of June, when are you gonna get that check? When you gonna get that? It's not rapid refund, it's not IRS, it's not H&R Block, it's not Hewlett Jackson, it's the city. It's gonna take some time. They don't wanna give you good time. Okay. Any old business? Any new business? No? We're gonna do that.
Wait for us to add, ask that.
Are you going to see a school now in June?
You should check the phone. No, but I'm saying, you know, I'm asking like what they. For next month.
Right, so we at the end of the school year, so. Huh?
We're not adding any more students, we're adding any more students. But
Well, no, why would you add another school for the children?
that's what I'm saying, I've been asking this question for a week, I said, oh, let's make it for March, and then March came, he said, well, let's start for April.
Okay, in April, you left the meeting early from the
So
business
it was
meeting.
not really, it was on time, that it's for today, after, that's, it's not. And I had emailed you about March, that I did not do it, that has to be. And I didn't do it.
So, okay, so you have answered your own question. You left early and in April, you left the business meeting, we are in May, so we could not discuss the liaison.
No, but it wasn't on the agenda, that's what I'm saying.
You want the liaison list to be on the agenda.
It wasn't the agenda, we didn't speak about it. That's what. That's what I'm saying, there is no point for me to add another.
Oh, you just, okay, you're just referencing that. We were supposed to speak about the liaison list. It was pushed back twice. And we can't do it now because it's the end of the year.
Yeah, it makes no sense to add another to fire schools to our list because we were
Okay, okay, that was your comment. Okay, very good. I got it now. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
No, very good. Anything, so June evaluations, reimbursement in July, school liaison list and the school meeting list. We're gonna do that nice and fresh in July. Yes.
July, you know, notice.
Right.
And we're not going anywhere until September.
Right. And we don't have no presentation, so we could probably knock it out. One shot. Wonderful. Our hearts and minds are clear. That's the church ending. Wonderful. Someone please make a motion. Thank you so much, everyone. Amy. Second the motion. Thank you, council members. It is now 9:27. The business meeting is now closed. Thank you. Get home safe. Thank you so much for productive May meeting. Oh,
At the beginning, can we make a calendar workshop, presentation, discuss?
yes,
Things, not just like library, so we can line that up.
yes. I will say this, we are meeting June 18th at MS 390 at 6:30. Thank you.
No, oh yeah, I remember that, no.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone online.